He looked at me, his eyes tired, his voice dropping as if he were confessing something shameful. "I can't get morning erections anymore, doctor. I feel like I'm no longer a man." Those were the words of Mr. Frank, 72 years old, a former naval officer living in Jacksonville, Florida. His wife still loves him, still stands by him every day, but her gaze isn't the same as it used to be. No one says it out loud, but in that quiet kitchen, there's a lingering sadness, a sadness named the loss of manhood. But I didn't look at him with pity. I looked at him with belief, because I know this can change, and I've helped hundreds of men like Mr. Frank change, simply by starting over with something that seems so small, a morning routine. With just 5 minutes every morning, you can call your body back. Call testosterone to return, call blood to flow exactly where it's supposed to, call back that feeling of manhood that once made you proud. No pills, no procedures, not some far-fetched dream, but a habit backed by science, one I've tested with every single patient, from retired mechanics in Texas to elderly teachers in Oregon. The miracle is this: your body has never forgotten how to be a real man. It's just waiting for you to wake it up. You might think that at 65, 70, or even 80 it's too late, but it's not. Your body still has blood vessels, hormones, reflexes, and if you touch the right point at the right time, it will come back to life stronger than you think. And that starts in the morning, from the moment you open your eyes, from your first breath in the misty air by your porch, from the way you step out of bed, what you drink, how you move, and what you choose to think. I'm Dr. Authority, a urologist who has spent nearly 3 decades walking alongside men, trying to reclaim the vitality that once seemed far gone. I don't just prescribe, I listen, I empathize, and I show them the way back to themselves, strong, confident, and full of life, using nothing but the natural power their bodies have always held. You don't have to give up. You just need to start again, and start right. If you've ever looked in the mirror and felt yourself fading, if you've ever turned away from your wife out of shame, if you've ever silently longed for the days of youth that now feel like a distant memory, then this is your moment to return. Because I will show you step by step exactly how to get hard whenever you want. And stay that way, just like you used to. It's not some distant hope. It's something you will achieve, starting tomorrow morning. If you're still listening to me at this point, it means you still have faith. Faith that health, strength, and a man's dignity don't end when we turn 60. They're just waiting to be awakened. And if what I've shared has brought you even a little hope, a little motivation, or simply the feeling that you're not alone, then please help me spread this message to more people. Click like on this video so I know you're walking this path with me. Share it with a brother, a friend, a loved one who may be silently struggling with the same battle. And most importantly, hit subscribe, because this isn't just a video. This is the beginning of a community where men like us, whether living in Florida, California, or Kansas, can rise up, stand together, and prove that age doesn't make us weaker. It makes us understand the true meaning of strength. I'm here, and I will continue walking this journey with you. I know that when it comes to private matters like sexual health, especially at age 60, 70, or beyond, many men choose silence. They'll smile it off, avoid the topic, or reassure themselves with, "It happens to everyone eventually." And that's exactly why I'm here. Not to lecture, not to preach, but to walk beside you. I'm Dr. Authority, a urologist with over 25 years in the clinic, face-to-face with thousands of American men, veterans, long-haul truckers, bank clerks, retired teachers, and they all had one thing in common. They once believed their manhood existed only in the past. I was born and raised in Ohio, in a working-class family. My father was a plumber, the strongest man I've ever known. But when he hit his early 60s, I began to see him grow quieter, joke less with my mother, and I understood. Even the most resilient men have to face the changes in their bodies. When I studied urology at Johns Hopkins, I carried a clear mission, not just to treat illness in men, but to help restore their dignity, their pride, and the passion in marriages that felt like they had gone cold. Over the years, I've lost count of how many times an elderly patient held my hand, eyes welling up with gratitude, simply because of a single piece of advice, a simple exercise, or a small lifestyle adjustment that made a massive difference. I don't chase after flashy ads, and I don't put faith in so-called miracle pills flooding the internet. I believe in science, in the human body, and in its ability to heal itself when we care for it properly. In recent years, I've dedicated a great deal of time to researching the connection between morning habits and erectile health in older men. What I discovered is that most of my patients, regardless of job, lifestyle, or region, shared one critical mistake. They were starting their mornings the wrong way. They'd wake up late, skip movement, rush breakfast with sugary pastries or strong coffee, then sit for hours in front of the TV. That drops testosterone, slows blood circulation, and gradually robs them of the sexual vitality they once had. And when I helped them change that, just a few small adjustments right after waking, I began to see incredible results. From Mr. Walter in Minnesota, a 74-year-old carpenter, to Mr. Carl in Arizona, who struggled with diabetes and high blood pressure. They all came back with brighter eyes, with hopeful stories, with firm handshakes and hearty laughs. "Doc, I feel like I'm 40 again." I'm not sharing this to brag about how many people I've helped. I'm sharing it so you know that if you're sitting there, in front of the screen, wondering, could I really get it back? The answer is yes, and I'm going to show you exactly how to do it. I know many men believe that as long as they live moderately, don't smoke, don't drink excessively, that's enough to maintain their health. But the truth is, once you pass 60, your body doesn't operate the same way anymore. Everything changes from how blood circulates, how hormones function, to how your body responds to each meal, each night of sleep. And among all those factors, there's one thing most people overlook: the very start of the day. That's right, I'm talking about the morning. Morning is the most precious time for a man's body. It's when testosterone, the key hormone behind strength, desire, and erections, reaches its peak for the day. But unfortunately, most of us waste that moment. We wake up tired, chug a strong cup of coffee, grab a sugary pastry on the go, then plop down on the couch and let time drift by. Instead of activating the body to run at full power, we leave it in a sluggish, slow state that weakens more and more over the years. I'll never forget the story of Mr. Harold, 69 years old, living in New Hampshire. A kind, hard-working man who spent 40 years in mechanical work. When he came to see me, he said, "Doctor, I feel like my body just shuts off every morning. I used to wake up ready to work. Now, I don't feel like doing anything, not even being close to my wife." I asked him what his typical morning looked like. He said, "Wake up at 8, have coffee, watch the news, eat a slice of bread, then just sit." And I knew right then, the issue wasn't his age, it was how he was starting his day. I showed Mr. Harold a few very small changes that made a huge difference. Wake up a bit earlier, around 6:30 a.m., drink a glass of warm water instead of coffee first thing, take a 10-minute walk around the yard to soak in sunlight, nature's way of boosting testosterone naturally, and eat a breakfast rich in protein and healthy fats like eggs, avocado, and a handful of walnuts. 3 weeks later, he came back to the clinic grinning like a kid. "I wake up every morning feeling strong, and my wife says I've come back to life." That's not a miracle. That's science. When you adjust your morning habits, you're directly influencing the nervous system, the circulatory system, and the endocrine system, the three most critical systems for male sexual function. Light movement in the morning improves blood flow, meaning blood gets where it needs to go. Sunlight suppresses melatonin, the sleep hormone, and activates the pituitary gland to produce testosterone. Eating the right nutrients at the right time balances your blood sugar, keeps your energy steady throughout the day, and prevents age-related decline in sexual function. I'm not saying this to pressure you. I'm saying it so you realize something important. You absolutely can reclaim what you thought was lost. No pills, no fancy technology, just by starting right with your morning. Your body will respond when you treat it right, and it's never too late to start again. I know you've heard too many promises that all you need to do is drink this or do that, and you'll get your strength back. But today, I'm not offering you a promise. I'm offering you a real journey, simple, practical, and already proven successful by hundreds of men just like you across the United States. It starts in the morning, specifically within the first 30 minutes after you wake up. If you follow exactly what I'm about to say, your body will respond. Not in months, but in just a few days. You'll feel the shift, mentally, physically, and in the unexpected return of the masculine strength you thought was long gone. It begins the moment you open your eyes. Don't jump out of bed right away. Stay still, take a deep breath in, and exhale slowly. Repeat 3 times. This small action awakens your parasympathetic nervous system, helping you feel alert naturally without coffee. Then slowly sit up, stretch gently, and feel your body re-entering an active state. This is the first moment you send a message to your brain, I'm ready to operate. After getting out of bed, drink a glass of warm water, about 12 ounces, with a few drops of fresh lemon juice. The water replenishes what you lost during sleep, and the lemon stimulates digestion and detoxifies the liver. A healthy liver means better testosterone metabolism. For the next 20 minutes, don't touch your phone, don't turn on the TV, and absolutely no coffee yet. Instead, step outside or stand by a window. Let the morning sunlight touch your eyes. Morning light, especially between 6:30 and 8 a.m., is a natural trigger for serotonin production, which sets the foundation for testosterone synthesis. This is the same tip I gave Mr. Allen, 74, from Colorado. And after just 1 week, he said he felt alert and energized again, like back in his working days. Next comes movement. You don't need to jog or hit the gym. Just 5 minutes with 2 simple exercises, plank and squat. Planks activate the lower abdomen, directly connected to the pelvic floor, the muscle system that supports erections. Squats, even just 10 each morning, improve blood flow to the lower body and boost overall strength. If you have joint issues, you can substitute with Kegels. Contract your pelvic muscles for 5 seconds, then release, repeating 10 times. Mr. Raymond from Wisconsin didn't believe this would help, but after 3 weeks of daily practice, he returned to the clinic and simply smiled. Doctor, now I get it. Breakfast. Don't let it undo your progress. Stay away from boxed cereals, white bread, or refined sugar. These spike insulin, disrupt hormones, and block testosterone. Instead, eat real food. 2 eggs, half an avocado, a handful of walnuts or chia seeds. If you want coffee, wait at least 90 minutes after waking. This allows your body to regulate cortisol, the stress hormone, more steadily without overstimulation. Finally, before starting your day, take exactly 1 minute to say something positive to yourself. I call it a masculine declaration. It can be as simple as, I'm in control of my health, or my body's growing stronger every day. It might sound basic, but after working with hundreds of patients, I've learned this. Mental strength is a non-negotiable part of reclaiming your performance for the long haul. Your body listens to how you talk to yourself, and it responds to the belief you feed it. You see, there's no magic. There's only you. And a morning done right. Try it, truly try it. Don't skip a single step. Do it every day for 7 days, then 14, and you'll see what you thought was lost was only waiting for you to return. I still vividly remember the radiant face of Mr. George, 71 years old, a former truck driver living in Texas, when he walked into my clinic just 3 weeks after following the morning routine I shared. Doctor, I've got to tell you, it's back. And not just that, I feel like I've truly come alive again. His voice trembling, eyes full of pride. George used to believe his time had passed. His body bore the weight of decades behind the wheel. Back pain, weak legs, and a heart that had grown weary many times. But none of that stopped his comeback when he chose to begin again, starting with the morning, with a habit small in appearance but powerful in impact. And he wasn't the only one. I also remember Linda, wife of Mr. Thomas, 66, from Ohio, who teared up as she told me, Doctor, my husband has changed. Not just in the bedroom. It's the way he laughs again, the way he looks at me like he did when we were newlyweds. Sometimes a strong erection isn't just a biological function, it's a sign of life, of dignity, of the bond between two people who've weathered decades of marriage. And when you awaken that life, everything else begins to shift with it. I'm telling you these stories not to impress you. I'm telling you so you know you're not alone. There are thousands of men out there, men who once thought my time is over, now coming back stronger than ever. And it didn't come from a pill. It didn't come from a pricey surgery. It came from a simple choice made every morning upon waking. Will you let today pass by as a faded copy of yesterday? Or will you rise, stretch, and begin again? You hold the power right now, this very moment. Your body, whether you're 60, 70, or even 80, is still waiting for your decision. It's never abandoned you. It's just waiting to be reactivated. And if today you choose to do that, you're not just changing your morning, you're changing the rest of your life. I want to ask you to do something. Not for me, but for yourself, for the woman beside you, for the other men who need a spark. If this video awakens something in you, a flicker of hope, a sense of inspiration, or even just a moment of connection, click like on this video. Let me know that you're here, that you're listening, and that you're ready to make a change. And if you believe what I've shared could help someone else, an old friend, a neighbor, a brother who's been silently sighing each morning, share this video. Send it as a message. Hey, you still have a chance. Start over. Finally, I invite you to subscribe to this channel. Not because I want more followers, but because I'm building a community. A place where men who once stayed silent can now speak up, share, and come alive again. A place where we face aging not with resignation, but with intention, confidence, and more strength than ever before. You might feel your heart beating a little faster right now as you listen. That's a good sign. That's your body responding. That's your inner man waking up. And I promise, if you walk with me, step by step, we won't just improve your health, we'll restore your pride. We'll live the rest of our lives fully, intentionally, and with true strength. I'm Doctor Authority, and I won't give up on you as long as you're still willing not to give up on yourself. Old age is not a full stop. It's a new beginning if you know how to live alongside it. When we're young, we feel strong because our bodies are vibrant and our spirits are on fire. But once we cross 60, that strength doesn't simply disappear. It transforms. It becomes a new kind of challenge, a journey that only those brave enough to keep moving forward can complete, to touch the fullness of life. The first thing I want you to understand and truly believe is this: your sexual ability, your erections, your desire, and your capacity to love don't expire with age. Your body still holds the original biological systems. They just need to be awakened in the right way at the right time. Like a classic car, if you oil it, maintain it, and know how to start it, it can still run smoothly and powerfully, just like it once did. The second, and perhaps deeper lesson, is about taking initiative. Many people assume that once they retire, once old age knocks on the door, health and vitality will naturally decline. But in truth, most of that decline doesn't come from age. It comes from giving up. You may not control time, but you always control how you begin each day. And with just 5 to 10 minutes every morning, doing small but intentional actions like gentle movement, proper hydration, and a healthy breakfast, your body will begin to recalibrate, recover, and regain its strength. And finally, or perhaps most importantly, comes the lesson of the spirit. Physical health and mental health go hand in hand. When an older man regains his ability to get an erection, what he truly reclaims is not just a sexual function, it's his self-respect, his sense of fully embodying his role as a husband, as a real man. And sometimes that single shift doesn't just change a man, it revives a marriage that had quietly been fading. So if there's one message you should carry with you after hearing this, let it be this: never believe it's too late. Never buy into the idea that age marks the end of masculinity. On the contrary, it can be the beginning of a whole new chapter, deeper, richer, and more worth living than any phase before it. You only need to begin tomorrow. and stay consistent. The journey doesn't need to be perfect. You just need not stop. Because every morning you wake up and choose to live with strength and vitality is a clear declaration to your body, I'm still here, and I will not back down.